Hello, and welcome to the Live Past Crazy Show. Your host is Mitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with her? Mitra appreciates you taking the time out to listen to the podcast, and it is her sincere hope that what we share is something that you can use to help you and someone you know live past crazy.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. Welcome. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Mitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Welcome. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And hope you're ready to get this morning started on just sharing out the show. Please make sure you share, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, we have a YouTube channel. You can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. If they don't do that, we have a podcast. It's on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, everywhere podcasts are found. It's everywhere podcasts are found. And they don't do that. We have the books. They don't do that. All the books are found on Amazon except for one. If they don't do that, I have a movie, The Last Time. If they don't do that, tell them I said good morning. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning. Yes, ma'am. I am ready today. I even have my little feathers here. Good morning. So hope you guys are ready. I hope you had a good weekend. Thank you, ma'am. I decided to do something different on Saturday. And so I was like, well, let me take it out. Let's see how these curls is working today. So, David, I don't know if you know, this is how I made my money in school. I would do people's hair. I was doing the perms and the rod sets in the rooms, honey. I came to you, didn't even have to worry. So, good morning. I hope you guys had a great weekend. More important, I hope you're ready to get this morning started. Y'all, I shared y'all, like, I did some growing over the weekend that I can't even explain. It ain't even been over the weekend. It's been over this week. Growing inside. Like I said, you always got to make room for growth inside yourself. And y'all, I made some room inside this week. And at first I was like, oh, it wasn't a productive week because I didn't. Actually, it's been 2 weeks. I was like, I haven't been productive in 2 weeks. But I was productive in another way with things that need to be taken care of here, that now I have room to make them happen here. So it's been amazing. It's been really, really good. So hope you guys are ready to get the day started. I hope you enjoyed the show on Friday. We talked about we know it's scary. And y'all saw that picture I posted on Saturday morning. Was that Friday night? Anyway, I talked about you can't have common sense when it comes to your dreams. And I had talked to the girls. I had sat down with them and I was like, listen, we're not going to apply common sense to any of our dreams and our goals. And they was like, okay, mommy. So I explained it to them. I took myself to breakfast Saturday morning to do some more work. And that's when I read it in that book. It is amazing how when you're ready for the answer, the in-depth answer, it always makes itself available to you when you are ready, not a second sooner. So if you missed Friday's show, please go back and watch it. So today, let's get right into it. And if you share the show, please let me know so I can properly tell you thank you. The quote of the day. The ultimate tragedy is not the brutality of bad people, but the silence of good people. And that's by Martin Luther King Jr. The ultimate tragedy is not the brutality of bad people, but the silence of good people. By Martin Luther King Jr. Good morning, Miss Margaret. Yes, girl. Wasn't it like when I read it, Tiffany, and I was looking around, because this is a small restaurant, I was looking around like, did nobody see what I just read? You didn't watch the morning show on yesterday? And where I talked about, I thought I'm giving y'all a new concept. It was new to me. Never. I thought it up right then. And here it was in a book. What? Tiffany, I was like, it's the alignment for me, honey. I will take that. I will take that. All right, so let's talk about today, misinformation. If you're a music person, you know that was one of Missy Elliott's albums, Misinformation, wasn't it? I think so. But let's talk about misinformation and what that really means. Because sometimes, so I have 3 questions today that I had to ask myself, and as always, as I'm working on my inner stuff, I share some of it. I can share some of it. Ain't the right time to share. And so here's some questions that I had. So the field of thought today is misinformation. So when we think about where we are right now, and we think about where we want to go, are you where you are right now because you had the right information, or did you have misinformation? So question 1 is, do you have the right information to go to the next step? Do you have the right information for yourself? Do you have the right information about yourself? Do you have the right information about the people, places, and things around you to do what's next? So do you have the right information? Yes, Mark, we processed that. Laura Hill, thank you. DJ Tiffany, y'all know DJ Tiffany on it. So do we have the right information? And so, as always, we would do confessions and conversations, JoJo style. Did I have the right information when I said I wanted to be a millionaire? No, I had all the wrong information. Did I have the right information when I said I wanted to move or I wanted to do certain things? Did I have the right information for me to make the next right decision? So I'm going to give y'all all the questions, then we're going to talk about it. So the first question is, do you have the right information? The second one is, do you have the wrong information? Has someone misinformed you? Had they miseducated you? And I know Tiffany going to drop us the link to this album so we can listen to it all day today. It's going on me on my walk this morning. So do you have the wrong information? Have you been misinformed? And what do we do when we've been misinformed? Like what do we do? Like when somebody has given us the wrong information, what do we do? Do we get mad? Are we angry, upset? Do we want to fight them? Like what do we do when we have been misinformed and we make the wrong decisions for ourselves? And so here's the next question. What is the lie? What is the lie about the information that you receive? Is it a lie you told? Now, some of us are misinformed on our own accord. Some of us are misinformed, miseducated, because we didn't want to take time to learn it. Guilty. So, I wrote this in my journal. I had to ask myself these questions. Jojo, do you have the right information? Do you have the wrong information? Now that you know what you do and do not have, what am I going to do with this information now? So let me write that down. What am I going to do with this information now that I know it? Right? But what is the lie, though? What is the lie here? Did I tell it to myself, or did somebody tell it to me? Yes, you sure do. But sometimes guilty is we receive the wrong information and we think, well, it's not that bad, or that person is not that bad. Let me just go ahead and see. Yes, ma'am. Please, listen. And here's what I'm finding out for myself. There have been a lot of times that I have had the right information and I did the wrong thing with it. I had to write that down. There have been a lot of times I've had the right information and I've done the wrong thing with it. I knew this wasn't right. And that was the right information. And I did it anyway. You know you weren't supposed to be dating that man. But he was cute, so you did it anyway. You had the right information. You saw all the flags. You saw all the wrong things. And you did it anyway. You knew you shouldn't have took that job. You knew you weren't going to be making enough money. You knew that. But you did it anyway. So sometimes we have the right information and we still do the wrong thing with it. Right? So how do we correct that? How do we correct that thing? That's right, Miss Margaret. So if I sometimes have the right information and I did the wrong thing, how do we correct it? So do I have the right information about JoJo? Sometimes we got to understand that. Do I have the right information about myself so that I can make the right decision? Because sometimes we're making the wrong decisions because we don't know ourselves. We haven't taken the time. That's why self-care is gangster. We haven't taken the time to get to know JoJo, who I am. And so when I start to understand who I am, and as Oprah Winfrey say, thank you, Tiffany. As Oprah Winfrey say, you start to feel yourself and your cup runneth over. Allow that, because that's a good thing. Oh yeah, I read that book, Margaret. And when you start to understand and give yourself the right information, it is amazing the decisions you can make once you give yourself the right information. So do you have the right information? Are you feeding yourself the right information? Right? Do you have the right information and you're doing the wrong thing? Do you have the wrong information and you think you're doing right? Yes. So if I have the right information and I am fully informed of what my next steps need to be, my decision making is totally different than when I have the wrong information and I'm assuming I'm making the right decision. Or if I have the right information and I insist on making the wrong decision anyway. Those are two totally different people. So now my question is, what do we do? What do we do when we've been misinformed? What am I going to do with this information now? Because eventually you're going to tell yourself, hey JoJo, this ain't right, boo. This ain't where it's at. I don't like this. Like, JoJo, no, we need to stop this. And then I'm going to educate myself with the right information. But now what do I do with it? And to get to that point, I got to ask myself, but what is the lie? Yes, Margaret. What is the lie about the information I have received? What is the lie? Did I lie to myself in order to make the information I received okay? Did I lie to... I've been married a couple of times. Let's walk through this because I don't want y'all to be like JoJo. Did I lie to myself about marriage number pick one? Did I lie to myself and say, oh, he's not that bad. I can work with him because he got potential. I can do this because he's so sweet. And did I allow my misinformation of myself to make the wrong decision because I chose that lie about myself, right? Did I choose that lie about myself because I didn't really want to have the correct information to make the correct decision? I had to lie because I saw all the wrong information and I knew not to go that way, but I chose to take that lie and take that information anyway and make that decision. Who I'm fixing to be mad at? What is the lie? I told it to myself. Oh, well, I can work with him because he has potential. In habits, listen, I'm a firm believer that some of our habits still are free will to think. Some of our habits still are free will to think. Because you have been with this person so long, you can't think what life would be without them. Or you go experience some life without them and you miss the comfort of their crazy and you go back because it is the lie that you're telling yourself because you misinformed, because you see the information for what it is, but you're choosing not to believe it and you're choosing to apply a different way of thinking towards it. Well, that's going to get you the result that you get. And that happened to me. It has happened to me in relationships. It has happened to me in jobs. It has happened to me in friendships. Right. Absolutely, Miss Margaret. We may not feel crazy at the moment, but my question is, do I have the right information and I'm insistent on making the wrong decision? What lie did I tell myself in order to accept this information that I know don't sit right with my soul? Because I have lied to, JoJo has lied to herself about many a thing so that I could accept a situation, person, place, or thing so that I could get an outcome that I thought I wanted. And here I was knee deep into it like, yeah, excuse me, I changed my mind. Well, now I'm out in the middle of the ocean. I'm out in the middle of the ocean. And so you mean to tell me you want to go back that way? Well, boo. You out here now. You had all that same information before. Good morning, Joshua. So the misinformation is what? What are we going to do with that misinformation? Do you have the right information? Do you have the wrong information? Have you miseducated yourself? Have you misinformed yourself? And DJ Tiffany, who's the official DJ for the morning show, has dropped the whole Laura Hill album for us. So that's our theme music for today. What am I going to do? What do we do when we know we've been misinformed? And now what am I going to do with this information? What is the lie? What information did I receive? What information did I give myself that was a lie? And did I have the right information and do the wrong thing? Well, now that I've asked myself all these questions, now that I know I've been misinformed, good morning, Miss Starks. Now that I know I've been misinformed, right? Now that I've asked myself, do I have the right information? I have the wrong information. Now that I know what the lie is that I told it to myself, right? And y'all, I want y'all to understand how important it is to know that the lie we tell ourselves is the most important lie, because we have got to convince ourselves to buy into that lie to go where we say we want to go. So when you lie to yourself and say you can't do something, it takes a hell of a lot of work to convince you what you can't do. Because the God in you, the universe, the creator in you says, Georgia, you can go, dominate, be fruitful, and multiply, take dominion. But the lie I choose to accept is that I can't. And it takes a lot of work to stay in that misinformed space. And so eventually, boo, you got to ask yourself, what's the misinformation here? What lie am I going to continue to believe? It's not supposed to be that hard, Margaret. I'm a firm believer. I'm not fixing to fight you. I'm not fixing to yell. I'm not fixing to, listen. I'm not fixing to, if I ask for all things up here, I'm not coming down. If I bought things here, I expect things to be met here. We're not negotiating. We're not negotiating down. Remember, some of us, we ask for things here. We talk ourselves down to here. And then we accept them here. And then you mad because you accepted this level when you asked for this level. Well, that's because you talked yourself down. You started to believe that lie. So now you're accepting things here. We're not doing that. We can't. We're not going to do that. So now we got the misinformation. We're going to ask the questions. So how do we correct that? Maybe we need to go in detail about that tomorrow. But one of the things is, how do we correct it? Now that we know we've been misinformed, we got the lie down, we done talked to ourselves. Y'all, listen, I've been doing some inner work, and y'all about to get it all this here week. Because if I'm asking questions, y'all going to get some questions, because I don't want you to continue to live in crazy, which is the whole purpose of the Fearless Morning Show. So how do we correct that, right? How do we correct it now that I know I've been misinformed? I bought the lie. I took the pill intentionally sometimes. And listen, the growth is going to start when we can realize that intentionally we lied to ourselves. We lied to ourselves so that we could have that man. Woo, honey, I lied good to myself so that I could have that man. Oh, and I lied to myself good so I could have that friendship, so I could have that career. I lied so good. But now, what do we do to correct that? We have a master plan. Do y'all see that green screen? Do y'all see that flashing green and blue? I have no idea what that is. It's doing it on its own. Am I only one seeing that? Yeah, yes, ma'am, Miss Starks. Yeah, and he was cute. And where did cute get us? Cute got us sitting in the corner, looking crazy. I don't know why I got blue and green flashing. Maybe that's the special effects for the day. I don't know. We're going to rock with it anyway. Good morning. Maybe that's my intro to, thank you, Joshua. Maybe that's the intro to how we about to correct it. How we about to master plan. DJ Tiffany, if she's here, she can drop the song. I'm thinking of a master plan. Who sings? That's in a rap song. Grand Rising, Miss Carrie. It's a party. And listen, since the thought of the day is misinformation, right? How are you rising this morning? That's the question. How are you rising today? How are you rising today to meet and greet your day? And if you're bound and determined to figure out the lie for the day and what you have told yourself, Grand Rising, it's going to be a party, because you're about to begin a journey of a lifetime. So how do we correct it? We know all of that. Now, how do we correct it? Number one is we got to have a master plan. I will take that. I will take that, Margaret. A to the men. I will take that. Honey, maybe it is the universe himself saying, get it, get it. Yeah, Eric B. and Rakim, thank you. Thinking of a master plan. So we got to correct it by having a master plan of what our intent is going to be now that we understand the lie that we've told ourselves. Now that I understand I've been misinformed, I have misinformation, I had the right information, I did wrong things, I had the wrong information trying to make it right. Now that I know what I'm doing, I got to have a master plan, which is the whole point of the Fearless Morning Show, the Team Abundance, because there's only 2 teams. In Team Abundance, we not only are creating our playbook, it is our master plan. Yes, Tiffany. And I was saying, DJ Tiffany's going to find us the link for that as well. So as we're thinking about a master plan, I want you to think about, and this is what I did. So I sat down Saturday and I thought it out yesterday, and I had all these thoughts rolling in my mind. Is if I have a master plan, if this is my ultimate goal, and this is in the playbook of Team Abundance, right? And this is my master plan. Who are the players? Number one, how do I want to lead? Okay? How do I want to lead? How do I want to lead? And how do I want to receive my information? Yeah. And how do I want to implement it? Because that's important. Thank you, DJ Tiffany. So now that I know that I'm ready for my master plan, how do I want to lead? How am I going to be the leader of me? Or am I going to allow somebody else to be the leader of me? What I have found is that when I start on this journey, it is okay to have mentors, advisors, friend, wise counsel. It is okay to have these people along your journey. And it is okay that once they brought you to a certain point of your journey, for them not to be there for you anymore, because they've taken you to where you need to be. And now it's somebody else's turn to take you further. And sometimes you have to lead yourself. So how do I want to lead? If I'm making a master plan, because I now know I've been misinformed, how do I want to lead? Right. And question number 2, how do I want to receive my information? And 3 is, how do I want to implement it? How do I want to receive it? And how do I want to implement it? Yes, purpose partners. Because if I know, if I'm going to be the leader and I'm thinking of a master plan, I want to sing that song so bad. How do I want to implement that? Like, how is this plan going to work itself out? So here with Team Abundance, we have our big vision, and our goal is to win that championship. Now we're going to work it backwards, right? And we're going to take it by game. But before I can get to the championship, I got to win each game. But before I can win each game, I've got to show up for practice. I got to, remember we talked about it's going to take a different level of breathing. I'm going to have to learn to breathe differently. If I'm a rookie and I'm just starting out, and so there's going to be different levels to Team Abundance. We're going to have rookie, we're going to have MVP, we're going to have championship. We're going to have different levels, because if you need someone and you're just starting out on your journey, you may not be able to understand the language that a champion may be understanding. You may need to implement on a rookie level that says, listen, I just need to show up for practice every day. I need to learn how to breathe differently. I need to learn how to practice and show up every day. I need to be committed. So you may be on that rookie level. Again, this is where your mentors, your advisors, your wise counsel come in. So if you're just beginning your journey, you may read books like You're a Badass. And then as you go, you read different books. You read something else that takes your mind. Because if you can't handle the untethered soul here, it will never make sense to you here on this level. And so you feed yourself as you go. And so how do you want to lead? How do you want to receive your information? How do you want to implement it? So the implementation comes in whatever level that you think you are on, and understanding how you're going to lead it, how you're going to receive that information. And sometimes you got to receive it from other people because you can't see it clearly yet. You know you've been misinformed, right? And you know some things. You bought the lie that you told yourself. Well, now you're clearing up that space, but you don't understand the next right thing to do. Well, maybe you need to listen. Is Carrie still on? Maybe you need to listen to Unusual Suspects. And maybe you need to get a different mindset. Maybe that's what you need. Yes, Miss Margaret. Peace, period. Maybe you need a different level. And so you have to figure out what level you need to come in on. And that's where you're going to figure out how you're going to implement it. Now that you have the right information, how are you going to implement that thing? How are you going to work that out? And so over here on Team Abundance, we start that with day 1, where we're going to figure out if you committed, if you interested. Are you really going to say this is what you want to do? Or are you just playing with this is what you want to do? Like, are you in here to be in here? Or you just on Team Abundance just so you can? Because some people, guilty, we say we do a thing, or we with a people, or we with a man, or we with a friend just for the clout of saying it. But when it comes to the work of it, this is where you buy into your lie. It comes to the work of it, you be like, oh, I can't do this. Well, the lie you told yourself was that you could. So how do we correct it? So we're writing out our master plan. That is my goal this morning. When I got up this morning, before I got up, my words and my breath, my direction was to finish creating the master plan. Because I sat down, when I took myself to breakfast on Saturday, 6 pages of the master plan. And I'm not, and here's the thing. This is how JoJo can make things complicated. I took myself to breakfast and I took a book and a notebook. And I was like, oh, maybe I need my laptop. No, you don't. Well, maybe I need it so I can type things up and make, no, you don't. Because before you had a laptop, right, you had a desktop. Before you had that, you had an old-fashioned typewriter. Before you had, and you had a computer at 9, but before you had that, you had a typewriter. But before you had that, JoJo, you had pen and paper. And you would sit and write stories and words and entertain yourself for hours. I need you to go back to that point. Because when you start adding extra stuff, you get sidetracked. You get discombobulated. Then you start getting information that you're not ready to receive yet. Pen and paper. So listen, here it is. I wrote it out all day, Saturday morning. Pages and pages of it. I took it back to the basics because sometimes that's what you need to do. As I'm figuring out that I was not misinformed. I was making things harder than what they needed to be. Now that I know that, I've got to make my master plan. And I got to understand how do I want to lead? How do I want to receive the information for the next level? And how do I want to implement that? And these are all questions I suggest you ask yourself. Whatever level you're fixing to go to, I don't care if it's you changing your mindset. I don't care if it's you saying you're not going to cuss as much, or you're not going to downgrade people as much. You're not going to talk about, you're not going to gossip. Whatever your next level is for you, how do you want to master that next level? How are you mastering the craft of, this is where JoJo says she wants to go. This is what you say you want to do. So the misinformation and the quote of the day goes perfectly with it. The ultimate tragedy is not the brutality of bad people, but the silence of good people, by Martin Luther King Jr. And the thought of the day is misinformation. So these are the questions I had to ask myself, because I don't want you guys living in crazy like I live in crazy. Do you have the right information? Do you have the wrong information? What do we do when we've been misinformed? What do we do now that I have the knowledge that I've been misinformed? What am I going to do with this information now? And what is the lie? What about this information I received was a lie? 1. 2, what lie did I tell myself so that I could accept this misinformation? Because sometimes we're very clear that the information we're receiving is wrong. We're just accepting the lie so that we can go do what we want to do. And then when it doesn't work out the way we want it to work out, oh, well, he lied to me. That job lied to me. She did this and she told me, no, boo, they gave you all the correct information. You chose to lie to yourself and use that misinformation to assume you're going to get a different outcome when it doesn't work that way. So what is the lie? And sometimes we have the right information, we still do the wrong thing. With all the flags, with listen, people can tell you, I'm fixing to be crazy. I'm fixing not to do right by you. Your job can tell you, you can look at a job or a career and see the turnover rate. And you're like, oh, that's a good place to work. And the people are telling you, don't come here. You don't want to work here. But you insist on having the right information and still doing the wrong thing. Well, boo, you can't blame nobody after that then. You can't get, boo, why is we getting mad though? Because that's the question. So once we know all of this misinformation, right? And Tiffany has dropped our theme songs for the day. Miseducation by Missy Elliott and Thinking of a Master Plan by Eric B. and Rakim. We got to have a master plan. Y'all, I promise you, go on strike, Margaret. You want to be a part of Team Abundance. I'm telling you, I'm working on this playbook. I'm working on the master plan for Team Abundance. There's only 2 teams in this world, Team Abundance and Team Lack. And I promise you, this is where you want to be. Text motivation to 33777 to make sure that you're on the mailing list. Because when it, listen, y'all not, listen, when the master plan comes together, when you sit down and you ask yourself these questions, how do I want to lead? How do I want to receive my information? How do I want to implement it? And you actually do the work of it, the outcome that you're about to receive is going to blow your mind. When I sat down with paper and pencil yesterday and took out all the extra, because what is the lie? The lie is, oh, I need the computer, I need all the things so that I can make it pretty. No, JoJo, you need paper and pencil, right? That's all you need. You just need to understand the basics. Write out the master plan. And our master plan is our vision statement. And some of us, we are afraid to write it down, put it on paper, because then it will hold us responsible for the words that are coming out of my mouth. It will hold me responsible for the words that I've written down. Because the universe, God himself, the creator, once you write the vision, it sets out to put things in motion to make them happen. Well, if you are attached to your story of I can't, I don't know, I don't understand, this hurt me, they hurt me, I don't have no money. If you're attached to that, you will never write your right vision. You will never write your right vision because you need this lie to be true so that you cannot have a vision. So you can't go forward. So you will never write the right vision. You will never say the right words on purpose. Come on, Karen. And I love Napoleon Hill. I was listening to him as I was walking yesterday. And to the man, when you understand how you receive information, and when you understand that you got to put the right information inside of you, at all costs, that's what you seek to do. At all costs, you have time for it. Period. You don't have time for nickel, dime, penny, ante stuff. You ain't got time for that. You ain't got time for mediocre conversations. You ain't got time for conversations that don't feed you, that don't lead you, that don't inspire you, that don't make you think, make you go, You be like, oh no, well today I can't talk about that. And you become very selective about the conversations you have from that point on, because now you have a master plan, you have a playbook. And it says, yo, let me tell you, it says day 1 on Monday, and we're not going to make this hard. Monday, I got what and look, I have the cute list and everything. I'm a journal junkie. I have every journal, every to-do list, all the cute things. All it takes, JoJo, is a sticky note. Because you're getting caught up in all the things. Let me write it pretty. No, on Monday, JoJo, this is what you need to do. Tuesday, this is what you need to do. Because I can't get caught up and continue to tell myself a lie and misinform myself. Sometimes we're not receiving misinformation. We are misinforming ourselves. So do you want to write the right vision? Do you want to tell yourself the right thing? And sometimes the answer may be no. Like I'm okay with living this way. Like I'm not pressed for nothing. Like my bills paid. Like I got a man. I got a girl. I got a boo thing side piece. Hey, it's working for me. I'm comfortable. Then okay. I want you to be happy wherever you are. I'm ecstatic. This is a judgment-free zone. I'm happy for you wherever you are, wherever you begin on this journey. It is an amazing day to begin. Wherever you decide this is as far as you want to go on your journey, that's an amazing place to be. Right. And here's the thing. When you understand that you got a master plan and you're working on that thing, you understand that when you process information a lot quicker. When I have Team Abundance as my master plan, I'm processing information differently. I'm processing it quicker. 16 years ago, I couldn't process this information this quick. It took me, I had to sit and think about it. Now I can see the information and I'm going to decide, am I being misinformed? Do I have the right information, the wrong information? What is my intent with this information? And does it apply to my master plan? And that goes back to my 3 questions. What is my intent? What is my intention? And why am I saying yes? And I need to bump it up against that. And if it's fitting inside of my master plan, then I'm good to go. Let's rock out. But if it doesn't, I need to start asking some questions. And we should be asking questions of people, places. What is it? People, place, thing, person, place, thing, all the pronouns. You need to start asking questions about that career, about the job, about the man, woman, boy, child, about friendships, about family. You need to start asking yourself those questions. Is it fitting into my master plan? Listen, I'm not saying you got to throw people out of the way. I'm saying be intentional with the information that you're receiving and lining it up with your master plan. So on this lovely day, write these questions down, because we asking all the questions today for misinformation. Do you have the right information? Do you have the wrong information? What do we do when we have been misinformed? And now that I know that, what am I going to do with this information? Because some of us, we are misinformed and we get mad because somebody misinformed us. But what you fixing to do with it, though? Are you just going to be mad? Are you going to cuss them out? That makes you feel better for a minute. But what is your next step after that? Do you keep talking about it? Do you keep holding space inside of yourself? So now you're a bitter black woman because somebody hurt you years ago and you still holding on to it even though they gone? So what do you do when you've been misinformed, right? And what are you going to do now that you have that information? The next question is, what is the lie? Did you lie to yourself? Did they lie to you? Did they inform you and you still chose to believe a lie? Do you have the lie, believe it, have the right information, still do the wrong thing with it? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. These are questions, listen, you don't have to. These are simply questions I've asked myself and I had to come to an answer to as I'm making room inside of myself, because there's a revolution taking place on the inside. We talked about that in May. There's a revolution taking place on the inside. Boo, and it's bubbling up and over and it is oozing out of my ears because there are some things that are lining up. JoJo is not the same JoJo who started 2020. I don't even know who she was in January. Oh, but in June, she kind of figured it out. August, she hit the sweet spot and we rolling in it now. Right information. Misinformation. What lie did I believe? Did I continue to tell myself? And now that I understand some things, now that the revolution is taking place on the inside, I'm working on that master plan. Hard head make a soft. I heard that my whole life. And it got me a soft behind minty a day. But this is what I had to do. So as I was thinking about my master plan, I asked myself, how do I want to lead? How do I want to receive my information? How do I want to implement it? I went back and thought about my life as a child and the things that were instilled in me, the things that I saw growing up, and what was my true nature. What am I fighting against that is truly my true nature, right? And my true nature is that of a teacher. My true nature is that of an information sharer. From the age of 5, 6, from 5 all the way up to 12, I was teaching the neighborhood kids before they went to kindergarten. I was teaching them how to read and write, teaching them how to count. I was the babysitter who went and got up all the kids for school and got them ready into the bus stop every morning. I woke myself up and went to all of their houses, even when it was cold, and woke them up and got them dressed and gave them breakfast and took them to the bus stop, along with my sister and myself. I had the library at 6 and 7. You could check out books under my carport. I made my own. I made my own library cards. So take it back. When you're looking at your master plan, take it back to what was your natural ability when you were younger, before someone told you you couldn't do that, before someone said, JoJo, you doing too much, before they said, oh baby, girls don't do that, boys don't do that. What was your natural ability before you accepted all the outside forces that were telling you something? Because right there, that's when you was receiving the good information and you was doing the good things with it. And you were ready to implement it, and there was no lie being told. So go back there. So on this amazing day, I'm glad you guys have hung out with me as my screen has blinked blue and green all morning. I appreciate you. That's just our party. That means I said the right thing at the right time for the right person this day. And listen, this is what this is what I'm finding out. This is what I've known. Here's a lie that I believed for JoJo. That what I had to say wasn't important. I believe that. That what I wanted to do in this world, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't that important. It just wasn't. Somewhere between the Sister Rise retreat and Saturday, it kind of hit me in waves and slowly. And y'all know my quote that I've had since the beginning of this show: don't let what you can know. Someone is waiting to hear my voice. They will not move until I move. I believed it, but I didn't believe it 1,000%. And it wasn't till Sister Rise retreat up until Saturday that it finally hit me that it is okay to be in this space. It is okay that I am the one who is providing this space for other women. It is okay to say, JoJo, this is what you're naturally gifted and talented at, boo. And when you stand and walk and work in that, all things then are provided for you. So as you ask yourself those questions today, right? As you sit inside of that answer and then feel all the emotions, because I was crying over coffee, and I ain't even supposed to drink coffee. I was crying over coffee, water, and juice. I understood that if you don't fight who you're naturally meant to be, if you don't fight that, boo, the movements is so much easier. When you don't fight who you're meant to be, the movements are so much easier. Absolutely. But Carrie, it was so hard for me to understand that. It was hard for me to understand that, articulate it outside of myself and say it. Period. So on this wonderful, wonderful day, it's going to be an amazing day. Go back to what your true nature is. As you're asking yourself about all of this misinformation and you're looking at your master plan. And when I understood that Saturday morning, the words flowed so easily from me. Like there was no hindrance of the words. There was no hindrance of JoJo, let you think about that. No, it just came to me. 6 pages later, I was like, wow. I didn't know I had it in me because I was busy trying to believe a lie, number one. Or number two, I was misinformed about myself. That's why you got to ask yourself these questions. And y'all, this is a beautiful journey. And on this journey to self-discovery, self-love, whatever you want to call it, there are different levels to it. And the higher you go, the more you ask those hard questions to get to the easy answer. I had to ask myself a hard question, but when I did, I got the easy answer of it. When I asked the hard questions, I got the easy answer. The answer ain't easy. The answer ain't hard, Joe. It's easy. And when I removed my limitations and I received the right information, and I chose to understand the right information and implement what I already knew, the answer was easy. So on this wonderful morning, I hope this has helped somebody today, guys. If it has, please let me know. I greatly appreciate it because we about to master this plan. We mastering this craft. Whatever comes easy to you, sister or brother, allow it space inside of you to grow. What is your natural ability and your natural talent before someone told you it could not be? Whatever it is, Stick with that. Let's work on that. And I'm telling you, the Sister Rise Retreat we only a month out from the sister. Oh, it's a month today, October the 16th. Look at me getting my whole life. A month today. So much has happened in a month. The way I process information, the way I'm implementing it, the master plan. When you ask yourself the hard questions, the easy answer comes. Allow it to flow. But you gotta ask yourself, have you been misinformed? So I'll leave you with the quote of the day. The ultimate tragedy is not the brutality of the bad people, but the silence of the good people. And that's by Martin Luther King Jr. Period. The thought of the day is misinformation. Do you have the right? Do you have the wrong? Now that you've been misinformed, what you going to do with it? Period. What is the lie? Did you have the right information, do the wrong thing? Now that we know all that, how we fixing to correct it? We thinking of a master plan. Please play Master Plan. I'm thinking of a Master Plan by EPMD first. And then go listen to Miseducation by Laura Hill. Thank you, DJ Tiffany, for the music selections for today. How do you want to lead? How do you want to receive your information? And how do you want to implement it and know that every step of the way may require a different person of you. It may require a different JoJo on every level. JoJo, when starting out 16 years ago, is not the same JoJo that's here now. I'm not. JoJo from August is not the same as she is now in November. October to November, something drastic happened. Period. Good morning, Miss Stevens. Yes, come on, DJ Tiffany. She posted our theme music for today. So please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. I hope this has helped somebody today, guys. If it has, please let me know. Please tag me if you share the show so I can properly tell you thank you, because sometimes I don't see it until days later, so I can't tell you thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me with a blue and green screen. I guess that's the universe confirming that there's about to be a revolution taking place. And I invite you to go with me on this journey. And I'm telling you, you want to be a part of Team Abundance. So text motivation to 33777 to make sure you're on the email list. An email is going out today. And let me tell you, I've learned to make things very easy. Sometimes I will sit down and I will make words very hard. Now I just record videos, because I can record a video, stick it inside of an email and send it to you. And it's a lot easier than me trying to sit down and put my words to hear. So I hope you have an amazing day. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. And I want you to have an amazing day. Think about the misinformation today. Think about that. And then let's decide what we're fixing to do. What we're fixing to do with this thing. So I hope you have an amazing day. And let's talk more about this master plan tomorrow. I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.
Thank you again for listening to the Live Past Crazy Show with Mitra JoJo. She is the only Live Past Crazy specialist, and she is glad you spent your time with her. If you would like to know more about why she knows crazy and about her journey, she invites you to check out her website, www.livepastcrazy.com, as well as follow her on social media. Mitra is her tag for IG, Twitter, and Facebook, JANMETRA. She also invites you to join her on the Fearless Morning Show, weekdays at 7:15 a.m. on Facebook Live. Again, you can find us on Facebook with the Fearless Morning Show page or by name. Remember, as a result of working with the only Live Past Crazy specialists, individuals are able to identify the crazy in their lives and develop a specific blueprint to begin to live past crazy. Do you know anybody who needs to live past crazy? Then send them over her way, because there is life after crazy. Be peaceful, period. And Mitra will see you guys on the next show.